What's up, my Hans family, and welcome to day 25 of Hansoween, which you know the drill is 31 tutorials in the month of October, meaning a new tutorial every day. Today's video is an ice cream unicorn collab with my best friend RawBeautyKristi. This was so highly requested to do a unicorn. We've done a couple collabs this month now. We wanted to do something super sweet. Kristi is just so amazing, and I love her so damn much. She's such a kind-hearted and dedicated little lady. She's also doing 31 Days of Halloween, so go watch her videos. I will have her video and her channel and all that good stuff linked down below, as well as all the product details too. Let's do it. So we are making the ice cream cone and the cherry that you saw in my head for the look. We're starting out with the cherry. I'm using Model Magic. I molded it into a little bowl and using a brush to give it that divot at the top where the stem's gonna stick into. For the ears, it's pretty much the same thing. Super easy using Model Magic just to mold them into a shape that we want. Smoothing them down with your finger, making sure the other one is about the same, and then I put it between two straws just so that it would dry with a little bit of a curve. When that's all dry, paint the cherry. I'm painting it with red acrylic paint and darkening around the edges with a little bit of darker red paint. You may have to layer it a little bit because it does kind of go on a little patchy at times. And I'm taking some actual cherries that I used this in my pinup zombie tutorial. And I'm just taking out the stem, added a little Prozade into that divot, and stuck that stem right in. So that the cherry actually looks real and all glossy and shit, I'm using some clear nail polish to put a coat all over. For the ice cream cone, so fucking easy. Taking the Model Magic, putting it into a pancake shape, making sure it sticks out just a little bit around the waffle cone that I just got from the store, and add some little divots around the edge because, you know, when you scoop out ice cream, it kind of tears away, so it has those little divots. Paint that with acrylic paint. I went with a pink tone. I knew Kristi was doing mint chocolate chip, so I wanted to do a little bit of a different color, and coat that as well in nail polish. I'm using Prozade to stick down the waffle cone. You can use other adhesives, but I tried to use a hot glue gun earlier and it didn't stick to the Model Magic, so you do need to use either spirit gum or Prozade. Dipping now into some sprinkles, I added some just around the base, connecting to the little scoop. Off camera, I did coat the sprinkles in the clear nail polish just so that they wouldn't move at all. Onto the makeup. I had foundation and my contour all done, and I was like, you know what, I don't want brows. I really don't again. So I'm gluing them down again. I've been doing this so much lately, but it's pretty easy. Just using washable glue stick and pressing down into the hairs, and between each step, I use a little bit of water to smooth it down. I really should just shave my brows, because one, I don't enjoy doing them, but two, I really like how looks look without them. Powder those and add a little bit of pink blush to the apples of your cheeks. And we are going back in with paint over these, but I wanted to just make sure that they were pretty hidden. I added a little bit of concealer on top and powdered the brows more. For one side, since I keep looks asymmetrical, you know, I focused a little bit of aqua eyeshadow, which is from Anastasia, all over, and then deepened that with Poolside from Makeup Geek. I really like accentuating the shape of the face when I don't have eyebrows. You have that really cool crease there, so. Mixing together some yellow and white paint. This is both from Fab. I'm going to draw out my little drippies that I'm coming down from my face. I did a look last year actually during Halloween that this is pretty much inspired by. It was a sweet demon. I'll throw up a little picture right here. And I love the way this little drip looked, so I pretty much just did the exact same thing. Filled that in and used a small defining brush just to line the drips a little more and add some smaller ones if I need. The Fab paints are great because you can layer a lot of the water activated on top of each other. I never have a problem with them cracking too much, so I'm using the white paint just specifically and highlighting the high points of the creamy goodness dripping down. Ew, that sounded disgusting, creamy goodness. Maybe we won't call it creamy goodness. Well, that's right, I'm just going to intensify that highlight with some cream white paint. It stands out beautifully on top of water activated paint. And then using brown shadow, add a little bit of a shadow underneath our melted ice cream, not creamy goodness, because it would be casting a shadow down onto our skin. This also will differentiate it from our skin tone. Keep it super dark right up against the line, because again, right underneath the ice cream, it would be a very dark shadow. And then using a little angled brush, I'm going to add some sprinkles. A great tip is to find a brush that pretty much will already have the shape you're going for. This is a blunt angled brush, so when I just press it onto my skin, it already gives me that kind of pill-looking sprinkle. Same with this white dots here. Got a little circular brush so that it would just leave these perfect little dots. Those two are just hanging onto our face, so they would have a shadow as well. You can keep it super light because they wouldn't be putting off a really dark, intense shadow. To To make our ice cream look more three-dimensional, so it's not just flat on our face, I'm using some yellow eyeshadow to darken around the edges of the drips, but not going quite all the way to the edge. We're later going to highlight those edges, so you want to darken near those, but not all the way. Also, take your features into consideration. This is on your face, so you want to darken where your temples are, underneath your brow bone. This also makes it almost look a little glossy, which is good because anything that is melty and glossy would be catching the light everywhere and catching every shadow too. Deepen the shadows just a bit with a warm toned light brown. Now, just like we were talking before, going in with that highlight, I'm just going in with cream paint right against the edges of all of the drips and around that little holes. For the lips, I went in with this nice rosy pink shade, just filled them in and pulled the color down to create some little drops down my lips. And why not? Just have some melted ice cream coming out of our orifices, coming out of my nose too. Highlight that a little bit with a lighter purple shade, focusing just like we did on the yellow parts of the drips, more towards the edge, but not all the way too, and add a shadow underneath those as well. Now with the white cream paint, add more of the glossy highlight. I gave more of an ombre effect to my actual lip too, and put just the tiniest bit right near my cupid's bow. When you're finally on the eyes, you can do anything you want with them and make it your own. I just went with a very simple wing liner. It's very classic to me. I just sketch it out first and then fill it in, looking down in the mirror to get them as straight as possible, accentuating my little beauty mark, but making it a heart this time because we're all cute and shit, you know. And then popping on a pair of lashes. I realized that my contour wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it, so I just went underneath my cheekbone and under my jaw with that little bit of color, and added a bit of mascara to my bottom lashes. And just to bring this side of my face into the actual look, since I'm so drippy everywhere, I did decide to add a little bit of a drip coming down right in the middle of the eye. If wearing this for a costume to make the entire look cohesive, you could just wear this with a really pretty dress. I added a bit of blue shadow, focusing more on one side of my body, kind of carving out my collarbones just a little bit, but keeping it very soft. We're all cute and pretty, so gotta hop on that highlight train. Put a little bit of a shimmery highlight all over the high points of the look. Popped on my wig, found out exactly where I wanted my little ice cream cone. And for Pros-Aid to sit really well on your face and not move, you do want to remove the paint. It doesn't sit super well on paint. So I'm using some 99% alcohol to do so, where I am going to add the glue. Added Pros-Aid, and then added Pros-Aid to the ice cream cone too, and stuck that on. Pros-Aid will hold it very, very well, especially when you do wait for it to dry properly and put it on the proper way. I didn't have any problems with this staying. Do the exact same thing with your little ears. I painted them yellow just because my little drips are yellow. Worked out perfect. Added those on and then added on my cherry. And that's the whole look. I really hope you guys like it. It's so cute and fun. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorites. I love Kristi's, how she was inspired by mint chocolate chip ice cream. Hers is just the cutest. Make sure to go check her out, you guys. I just love her, and I know you guys will too. She's just wonderful. We're getting ready to go to New York, actually, with Nyx on Thursday, so getting damn excited. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Use the hashtag Hanzaween if you want me to see your work. I love the fuck out of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.